Of our project, we're going to open the garage and see what kind of problems. I noticed yesterday that there were a few bubbles starting to come up on one side. There's some gases coming through the floor. We'll be fixing those. We'll be trying to grind down some of the irregularities where we patch cracks, etc. And we'll probably be taking off some debris that might have blown on it, some dust bunnies or leaves or other things. So we'll open this up. We'd put a rock underneath to keep it from gluing itself to the bottom. Okay, we're going to do a walkthrough and see what we're going to have to deal with today. When we come to the front door, we knew we'd fill this all in and we'll have to grind that off. So we'll use the grinder in a bit to try to flush that off, and we might have to fill it a little more. There were a bunch of gnats here last night. They're all over the floor here. Now, see how they just sweep right off? So we should be in pretty good shape on that. We have a bunch of where we filled. There's some graininess to it. We'll grind that. We may not get rid of all of it. That's some of the issues with having these shallow pit marks. We tried to use a trowel mix. It was a little shallower than I thought. We might have been better off using liquid. You have to make a decision at the front and see how that works. But when we grind it, it should look a little better. Over here, we see we've got some bubbles. And if you can look closely, here's one here. See how it pops? And if we look in the center, we'll probably see a little hole right in the center of it. And that means there was a little gas coming up. Now when we screen this, those will just shave off, and on the second coat you probably won't notice those. If we had some real big ones with a big hole in the bottom, we might try to fill that little hole with a little grout or something, make sure the gas isn't, keep pushing up. So we'd missed a couple spots, or it sank in here. That'll all cover though today. Here's where we had some little holes, shallow holes. With the grinder, that'll probably flush up without a problem. Okay, as we come in farther, this is one of the cracks we filled. We'll take the grinder and go all the way down it. And here's a little bit that we didn't get filled, so I'll probably use a little grout today. The grout will go in a little easier than the trowel mix. It's not as strong, but over here we're not going to have a problem because nothing's going to affect that. So it'll just make it cosmetically look good. As we go around, some more bubbles. Everything looks good here. There's quite a bit of bubbles here. Now here's a big crack from here to here. So we either missed that yesterday or it sank in. And so we'll catch that with grout today. And here's a real big bubble, and we can see a little hole in the bottom of it. Another one here. A bunch of these, but these will just shave off. Coming around over here, we got some more. Boy, here's a big one. Same thing. But when we finish these should shave off, and we shouldn't notice those anymore. Now this hairline crack here, we didn't get very well at all, but we'll grout that in again today. So we're going to do all the repairs first. Checking all these little holes and the cracks. We'll grout that all in. Then we'll grind it with the grinder. I've got a big 8-inch grinder, but you can use a little 4-inch grinder. You can buy them for as little as $10 with a masonry wheel. And obviously, like doing car body work, we can make this perfectly smooth if we want to grind it, fill it, grind it, fill it, grind it, fill it. On the other hand, most people don't want that quality of floor unless they're doing some kind of showroom. So we'll probably just do one set of extra filling after we grind, and then we'll screen the whole floor to get rid of these bubbles and the irregularities. And then we'll sweep it, we'll vacuum the corners, and we'll finish up by doing a second coat. The next thing I'll do before I get going here is I'll ask the client to take a look at the color chips, and we'll do a little sample on some of this gray to see what colors they want. So here's the point where we want to get the lady of the house for approval.